Anyways, the piece that I'm gonna play is up next, and I worked very hard on it for. I started it not early enough. I wished I had. Oh, I'm gonna start this at the beginning of the year, and then I'll have 2.5, almost 3 months to get it done, and I'll do all these practice performances, which is really essential. And I didn't do those. I was fortunate enough to be able to like because of the way there was this huge snowstorm, crazy wind thing that came in. So the dress rehearsal with the string trio that I'm going to play with after that you'll see, that was supposed to happen on Monday, and that got moved to Tuesday. So I had to like cancel my students and the live stream last week. And I went in and I had a friend who I was gracious enough to let me stay there. And she was also gracious enough to let me just practice over and over again and then perform for her as a simulated performance. But really, ideally, what I needed to do, which I didn't, was I needed to actually like play for other people and play cold. Cold meaning like not warmed up, just go show up and do the piece, because it just there's really no way around it. I don't think, at least for me. I mean, there are maybe other performers that can do it, but and I didn't do that. So I was consumed with stress and anxiety, which is normal for us. Um, and I practiced a million times, and even I missed some of the other performances live because I just wanted to go through the thing again and again and again, even like moments before, right? Which is also very common for performers. Um, and when I got up there to the stage, I could feel myself. There was that like uncontrollable tremor you have, or your heart is beating, and you can see it if you guys pay close attention. I definitely made here or there. I made a couple sort of profound mistakes, but at least I got to know the piece enough that I recovered. Like there's a place at which I just completely botched this seam between sections. I'll point it out for you guys. And anyway, so the main thing, I played three pieces on this concert. The main one I played is a solo piece. The main one for me is a solo piece called uh, Bandoneons, Basil and Bay Leaves, and it's not an easy piece. It's really neat, and I had to even like simplify it and make it a little easier for me by adding some retardandos that weren't there. That was supposed to like if you listen to Guy's version, it just kind of gets more and more onto this like dervish kind of quality. It's very drony and repetitive in the left hand, and he does these things where he's staggering out the melody, and it's polyrhythmic. What's going on? The left hand is doing this very looping, repeated thing with these drones. You'll hear it when it gets into the sections. Anyways, let's listen to it. I'm not unhappy with how I did. I think I did great. And it was just a wonderful experience for me. In spite of all that. And this is my teaching live stream where I do talk about my successes and where I could have done differently. So, anyways, so let's check this out. Let's see. Oh, all right. Here I am. And I'll bring up the piece in a moment. It starts with this beautiful theme that starts in the beginning and then it comes back at the very end. So the very beginning and the very end have this theme in E flat major. Bum bi da dum da do dum dum ba ba da dum. Essentially, and then it kind of keeps developing out from there. And then the middle section, which is the majority of it, gets into this it becomes into the key of E minor. Luckily, both of these sit very well on the accordion. I believe Guy played the C system left hand free bass, I think. And so anyways, I played this on my Machino. Very happy to have it. And I thought the Machino just sounded great. It was thanks to Gabe Granitz for the amazing job he did on it. So here I'm just trying to like calm myself and settle and just basically I'm like okay, just try to be expressive, like don't get so wigged out with the anxiety that you're not expressive, because I had performed this like at my friend's house for her, and I thought I did very, very expressively, and for other people, in the dressing room and stuff, like I thought I had some really, really great moments of expressions. Like, don't let those go away because you're so freaked out about forgetting what's going to happen next, because it's untested. You have to we we have to do the thing that I didn't do, which is you have to go do these test performances or it just won't work out. I can see myself nervous. So right there, I totally kind of botched it at this little seam between the sections, and I kind of, you didn't get it. Just hit this little 5 chord, da da, and then I'm gonna start again. So it's a little safety thing, which, you know, it is good to practice your way out of the puzzles and problems there.